I was not able to remove the schedule card when I clicked on it the first time, but here we go. And without further ado, let's bring in Josh and Chris. And when John comes back, we'll bring him in. He's off screen at the moment, so that's no big deal. Everybody has the right to take a break. And, some of the credits do not roll long enough for an adequate break for an old man like Josh, or John, for this matter. And I should talk because usually I've got a 2-minute commercial. I'm usually about a minute late getting back from it. So I did script out a voiceover for my Rising Tide commercials with the different music. I have yet to be able to record it, but I've got the recorder pulled up, and now that it's the middle of the night, I might be able to get it done without interruption from the TV in the other room or a cat meowing or stuff like that. But Lord only knows when I will actually be able to get around to doing that. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here. We had a great show on Stupid O'Clock, did we not?
Yes, we did.
Great show.
And good morning, Josh Waltrip, and good hello again, Donna Carly Carlene.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you for reminding me to pull up the public comments. And there's something. Oh, okay. Well, we got that one. The private comments was something germane, and here we go. Oh, wait, he's got a banana. It's not the librarian from the Terry Pratchett books, but are you ready, John? Nope. Okay, we will wait. Just give us a thumbs up. I can't tell if it's a banana or a burrito, but well, showing it to me on the small screen don't do much. It could be a fuel pump for all I know.
A piece of bread.
Oh, a piece of bread. Okay. Well, on the small screen.
Nice backdrop with the aquarium, John.
Thank you.
Oh, is that the Tennessee Aquarium?
Yes, it is.
I've never been there myself. My sister has been a few times, but I've never been there myself. I keep meaning to, but
it's an enjoyable experience.
This aquarium was so impressive that Atlanta had to copy us.
I wouldn't doubt it, but
I've been to both
and built a bigger one.
Bigger isn't necessarily better.
And then Ripley built one up in the Gatlinburg area, believe it or not.
I believe it. I've been there. I love the way they've done the LED lights to light it up at night.
Well, let's hope that sometime soon I will be able to spare the time to go and visit the Tennessee Aquarium. I ain't going to Atlanta for any reason whatsoever.
They actually have 2 aquariums here.
Yep.
They have the original freshwater and a new saltwater aquarium.
Yes. And they're both in a fun experience.
Well, the only thing I could recommend in Atlanta would be
don't get shot.
No, Fernbank Science Center. Thank you.
Yes, that is nice.
And
the
Atlanta Steampunk Expo convention. Other than that, I don't find any reason to go to Atlanta for. Well, let's just say I try and avoid it as much as I possibly can. Although I used to go all the time. The only remaining varsity, since they closed ours down in Athens, so they're gonna make it a shopping center.
They're supposedly opening another one in Athens to replace it. I don't know the exact location, but I heard they're moving to a different location.
It'll be on the Oconee connector, which is close to, if you're familiar with Atlanta 316.
Yes.
Where it runs into Athens and comes to a screeching halt, which is real easy because
that's like everywhere.
316 is like, you won't let us build overpasses, so we're going to put a stoplight every 30 feet for 70 miles, or however long it is between 85 and the 10 loop around Athens. That is the slowest road, I swear. The police don't even bother to patrol it because there's a red light every 5 feet.
92 in Woodstock's pretty bad. Or it was.
Yeah, sorry about my quick exit there.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It was a power surge in my house. A house that storm finally hit that I was talking about.
We're glad your breakers didn't get tripped. Yeah. Let's see.
Josh Walter, I want to know the one reason you'll go to Atlanta.
All right. That's a good one. I never thought of that before. And here we have hello again, Donna. We're glad to have you here. I will try and keep you breathing tonight, but I can't promise anything. If the mood takes me, I can actually get funny. So let's see, Josh. Yeah, he was awesome. Stupid O'Clock was a fun show, and yes, JD is awesome. If you like JD from Stupid O'Clock tonight, you really need to watch Cryptid Crunch on the Back of the Cereal Box Network, which is totally different from the Rising Tide Network that we're on, but it's got just as many equally good shows.
What time did he say? 10 o'clock Sunday?
I do believe so. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I believe it's 9 Eastern and 10 Central. So.
Yep, and they are on Central Time. So let's see, what do we got here? Oh, Josh, yeah, one reason why you would go to Atlanta, if they ain't wearing mini skirts, I don't want to know. Well, concerts, but then again,
if Alabama,
there are several sporting events that take place there that I'm sure some people are fans. I don't know why, but some people are, and they have every right to be. But
I love watching Alabama kick Georgia's ass. Yeah.
Well, in Atlanta, it'd be Georgia Tech.
Well, no,
he's talking about the SEC championship game.
Well,
I know, Josh.
I've got
one
to say,
days Kirby's going to figure it out, or Saban's going to retire. One or the other is going to happen.
Yeah,
I've got to say, when it comes to college football, there's only one game I care anything about. That's Georgia versus Tennessee, because I can root for both sides. I've got family in both states. I know it's going to be one hell of a game, no matter what happens, and I don't care who wins. I really don't, because I know that it's both teams are going to be playing their heart out and doing their best to stomp the shit out of each other.
Okay, Josh, fill us in. I want to know what's the one reason you go to Atlanta. This is Josh Walter I'm talking to.
Oh, this one right here. Well, we really don't have any business knowing which way you swing, Josh. So
Dan would probably look good in a mini skirt.
Who?
Dan. You.
Oh, well, I do have good legs, but that's because I spent most of my childhood on a bicycle.
Well, Dan, he did say that she'd even wear mini skirts. So,
well, that lets me out, doesn't it?
Yep.
Now, unlike a lot of people that I do know from the convention circuit, I have never been tempted by a kilt. Don't know why. Don't really care why. Cargo shorts is good enough for me.
Your significant other. Well, that makes perfect sense.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's flash that up here. Yeah. Well,
that makes perfect sense, Josh.
Absolutely. And more power to the both of you. And hope everything works out for the best. Now, have we got any unfinished business from Stupid O'Clock that we can continue on with, or should we just go off in a random direction of our own?
Well, we were talking about music, but that could get you in a very extended conversation, as you well know, Dan.
Yes, I know. You and I can go on about different kinds of music and different bands for hours on end. I don't know Josh's preferences in music, and John doesn't really talk about music that much.
Very eclectic.
Okay. I will say today I managed to catch drat. Now the name is escaping me. Aphasia has struck again.
I've never heard of that group.
Yeah, well, I really need to form that band, so I've got an excuse for naming them all the time.
Aphasia? That sounds like that's
that's a real super group right there. No, Robert Fripp and his wife do a Sunday morning picnic sort of show every week, and I watched today a couple of things. It was clips from their they do like a 15-minute to a half an hour every week on Sundays, and it's it's Robert Fripp. I mean, one of the best guitar players that ever lived.
And I know he was in a band, King Crimson, wasn't it?
King Crimson, indeed, yes. And King Crimson had all kinds of different people that would flock to it when Fripp wanted to put out another album. Brian Eno, Greg Lake. Oh, Lord, how many?
Speaking of sort of sounding similar to your band's name that you would keep forgetting, Asia, John Wetton was a bass player for King Crimson for a time.
Yes, about half the people in Asia had performed with King Crimson at one time or another.
Asia the group, not Asia the continent.
Yes. And it was
that would be a lot of bass players right there. Let me tell you.
Knowing Robert Fripp, the continent is not out of the question.
Phil Graham was the one that put Asia together, and he was a famous concert.
He put it together in the heat of the moment.
Exactly. Good one. I like that. You need to do a rim shot.
I don't have the rim shots here.
Oh gosh, damn it!
They're on the Stupid O'Clock.
I know. It's just too late now.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm talking about Asia.
I haven't added rim shots or anything because we so seldom need them here.
I was fortunate enough to see Asia. Unfortunately, it was after John Wetton had died. Got to see them in Alabama at Mountain Oaks Amphitheater. Josh may know where that is.
Oak Mountain.
Yeah, Oak Mountain. Excuse me. It's late.
I ain't the only one with aphasia here.
Yeah. Carl Palmer is an amazing drummer, and he still can do.
I know.
Things with it.
It's a shame he's the only one left from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Really, we lost two great talents with Greg and
Keith Emerson.
Keith. Yeah, but when it's time, you can't argue.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is I did get to see Asia with two members of the Buggles, who were the first band to be played on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Hans Zimmer, the guy that does all the soundtracks for all the movies, was one of the keyboardists in that video that they showed on MTV? A very young Hans Zimmer is in the background.
Okay, cool.
Playing keyboard.
And of course, Steve Howell's all the bands that he's been with, notably Yes and Asia and GTR, who was another Phil Graham band. And Phil Graham again was the big promoter that.
Yep, put a lot of bands together.
Yeah, and most of his band names were short because he didn't like having to pay for big advertising for long names. So.
Yep. Oddly enough, I have actually seen Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and Yes, not at the same concert, but you know, in a theater that no longer exists in Atlanta. It got torn down to make a different stadium for the Braves, and they still couldn't win a game. But neither here nor there. I had nosebleed seats for Yes and Donovan when Yes's laser was one bright beam shined up on a disco ball. And then for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I was like 16 rows from the stage, maybe 12 floor seats. And you know the part of every concert where they go off and they're trying to decide whether they're going to come back for an encore, and everybody gets out their big lighters, and I had a lightsaber. I don't know how I got away with bringing the damn thing in, golf tube and all, but I did. Yeah. And I got the funniest look from Emerson, I swear. I mean, he was looking right at me going, what the? Okay, let's just do the song.
Let that guy in here.
Really?
Emerson was one of the first guys to really have an amazing keyboard and Hammond and synthesizer setup, and
yeah, he had the entire setup. I mean, the only one other person comes close, and that'd be Rick Wakeman. Nobody else had that many keyboards. Those two guys just had a whole stage full of stuff.
And
John Tesh.
Yeah, I didn't get to see him live, but I've heard that he did stuff to keyboards that was bordering on the obscene.
He liked to throw it into the audience, I'll tell you that. Yeah, he had it standing up on its corner, banging it on the floor while he was playing it. Emerson, I mean.
I saw one where he was rocking it back and forth like he was.
In Atlanta, he got positively violent with it. I'm amazed he didn't get arrested for some kind of keyboard abuse there. But
I hate to see how much money they spent on equipment.
However much they needed. It's not like they were short on cash.
But Hammonds were not cheap, and they were heavy, and every road crew hated moving those damn things.
It's amazing that Keith could lever the darn thing up with one hand like that. You get the kind of feeling he might have had one that was a special effect that was hollow and wasn't really a Hammond. But I don't know. I couldn't say. I didn't get to examine the wiring.
Because those things really were expensive even back then. It was probably...
but they were worth the money.
Oh, yeah.
Look at how many bands used those. Moody Blues, well, just name 60s bands at random. Everybody had one.
Santana, Greg Raleigh, which he took that to Journey with him. You had
Cream.
Yep, Deep. Well, I guess Cream did, but I never got. Most of the time I saw him playing bass guitar and drums. Deep Purple, John Lord had one. He was very good with the Hammond. Of course, Rick Wakeman of Yes, and
Iron Butterfly.
King Crimson had one.
Yeah, I do believe Iron Butterfly did use one.
Yeah,
although in their practice sessions they were using a church and were using the church organ, and I can imagine after a Saturday night practice session, the organ player came in and had to clear off all the beer bottles and whatnot.
Josh, you might get a kick out of this because I don't know if you know the story or not, but the main writer of Iron Butterfly was so drunk and wasted when he came up with Inagata Devita. It was trying to say in the Garden of Eden, but it kept coming out Inagata Devita, and that's what the song became.
It was a very late Saturday night when they finally got around to doing the lyrics because
what was the drummer's name?
That was a Sunday
amazing
morning.
He could stay sitting up on the stool.
The drummer,
Ginger Baker.
Ginger Baker.
Yeah.
No, not for Iron Butterfly. That was Cream.
Yeah.
And several other bands. Yeah.
But Ginger Baker did influence a lot of people.
Yeah. Let's see. I remember Ron Bushy, but I think he was the bass player. I'm not sure. It's been decades since I actually looked at the credits for things. Yeah. The video is available on YouTube, folks. The entire 17 minutes of Inagata Devita. You can watch it as it was back in the day. Please do, but not right now.
Yeah.
Yes. But you was asking music that I like.
Yeah.
Give me 70s country to 92.
Yeah. Before it turned into pop.
Yes.
Yeah. Before the Bushwick explosion.
Yes. And then any kind of rock. I mean, Pantera.
Ron Bushy was the Iron Butterfly drummer.
Okay.
First, I don't know why I thought he was the bass player, but
Bill Bruford was the original drummer for Yes, right?
I do believe so. And he was also in King Crimson several times, and Anderson, Wakeman, Bruford, and Howe. The man got around. If you needed a good solid drummer, he was somebody you would go to, and if he had time, he would do it.
And Chris, you was talking about Santana. You mentioned Santana. He's going to be in Tuscaloosa in October.
Yes,
playing.
If you get the chance, go see him. I mean, the man is not getting any younger, but he's still playing just like he did back in the 70s.
I'm going to do the best I can to go.
It would be a worthwhile experience for anybody.
The thing that makes me so mad about the way they schedule things at this amphitheater down here is everything's during the middle of the week.
Oh yeah.
Well, yep.
You're subject to them squeezing in between other dates.
The bigger venues. So got to deal with it.
Yeah, they're naturally going to try and schedule New York and Los Angeles and the big cities.
I was about to say that Atlanta, Tuscaloosa, then Birmingham, something like that, or Knoxville.
Even Atlanta gets stuff scheduled on other days.
Yeah, I got lucky. The Adamant Strip tour started in Atlanta and ended in Atlanta, and I got to go and see the opening show. It was Adamant and the Romantics as an opening act.
Oh, cool. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm listening.
And then this was one of those things. MTV was a big deal at the time, and both bands were heavy in the repeat list on the plays for the videos, and so I knew all of the big songs that the Romantics did and all the big songs that Adamant did. Of course, being a fan, I knew all the little songs that Adamant did as well. We got to this little bitty thing in Atlanta. It was the Atlanta Civic Center. I swear it couldn't seat more than 500 people. And I was the oldest person in the room that was not on stage. I mean, I was surrounded by teenage girls, and the folks that went with me were college age.
Now, say that again.
I was surrounded by teenage girls.
And you took that long to get to that part of the sentence there?
Well, I was just barely in my 20s at the time, and teenage girls were kind of still jailbait. So the statute of limitations was really short, if you take my meaning. But I was with three other people that I was in college with. They all had tickets, and I had a car, so I drove them to the Atlanta Civic Center, and we got our seats and got our programs. And I don't think we got popcorn, but it would have been a good show for popcorn, let me tell you. And then the Romantics came on and did their set, and about half the stuff was stuff that were MTV videos, and the other half was stuff that were off their, I think it was 2 albums that they had done by the time that concert took place. And Adam Ant had like 6 or 8 albums out at that time. So there was a lot of material.
So was this 83 or 84?
I believe it was closer to 80. I'm not sure.
Oh wow!
But it was a tour for the Strip album. If you want to look that up and see when that came out. So
yeah, I'm familiar with that. I was just thinking the Romantics album came out around 83, but I could be wrong. It could have come out earlier. They just had a video for it that they showed because I remember
another group that came out around that time that you just don't, see anymore. Bow Wow Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andy.
And I don't know why. I don't know why. They were really, really good.
Well, kind of like later on, about 10 years later, you had Roxette.
Yeah.
They shot straight to the top of the charts too, and then just all of a sudden kind of disappeared. So.
They had a couple of hits, but sadly, the Marie Fredrickson, the singer, died of cancer a few years ago. And
give me some.
Go
ahead. I was going to say, give me some blues. I'll sit all day and listen to blues.
Mm-hmm. Now, there were a lot of bands on MTV that were better known for their videos than being played on the radio for some reason.
Because they were outrageous. They were outrageous and they looked good.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them deserved a whole lot more notice just because of their talent, but they were outrageous on video, and didn't wind up transferring to ticket sales at concerts.
Well, you also had things like
you had it was like indie band. It was almost like indie bands, college band. It'd be like college.
Yeah, people that toured colleges. Yeah.
Romeo Void. That's who I was trying to think.
Romeo Void. Yeah.
Because Deborah, the lead singer, was a bigger girl, and they wanted a model and didn't like the fact that she was plus sized.
Agree, Sean.
Yep. Hello, Sean.
Yep. Hello, Sean.
Glad to have you.
One of the best concerts I've ever seen was I don't know what year it was. It's been about 5 years, I guess. 38 Special, Hank Jr. and Skinner. They played one night. All 3 of them. Great show. 38 Special stole the whole thing. They were the best out of all of them.
For those of y'all that go to LibertyCon, this is Sean Sullivan, the bartender.
Hey, Sean Sullivan, the bartender.
Hey, tip bartender's good.
Yep. Now, one of the best things I ever saw in a place they never should have been at because the acoustics were horrible was Boston and Sammy Hagar
Oh, wow.
in the University of Georgia Coliseum, which has all the acoustics of a toilet.
Yeah.
That sounds like this. Well,
It's entirely concrete, and
that's
there
how
is
our Coliseum is.
exactly nothing to promote this as anything but a place where you'd watch basketball. But they had the temerity to book just enormously talented bands. Their Heart played there. I think the B-52s played there. REM played there. And as I said, it was Boston and Sammy Hagar in the same night.
Well, before my time, Elvis played out here at the university. Springsteen, you had Stones. I mean, you name it, they played out here out at Alabama, out there at the Coliseum.
You'd
Which
be
back
amazed.
back then it was called Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at who plays in what venue.
Yeah.
The first concert that I ever got to go to was Chuck Berry, and it was at Six Flags over Georgia.
Southern Star Amphitheater.
It's a little bitty place. There was no place in that was less than 20 yards from the stage. And here's Chuck freaking Berry bouncing around playing guitar. And it was awesome. Yeah, I won't say it was a life-changing experience because I'd already been introduced to girls by then, but it was really intense. Let me tell you, to listen to this legend go through his entire repertoire with a pickup band from Atlanta, and a young lady he introduced as his daughter, but I believe that might have been a video. But it was an incredible concert, let me tell you, especially to somebody that was not even old enough to drive a car at the time, had to ride a bus to Six Flags to get there. A school bus at that. It was senior night. There were every high school in North Georgia had this partnership with Six Flags. So senior night, everybody got to go if they were in the senior class and signed up, and their parents would sign a release form going, yeah, if they get arrested, we'll bail them out. It was basically that kind of experience. It was so much. It was absolutely so much fun. And he actually did ask for permission from the park management to be able to play My Ding-a-Lang. I do believe that was the final encore right there, and he went through the entire thing, all of the verses that not many people knew existed, and it was just so much fun. It was just so much fun.
I think he told somebody one time. He says, "I don't write them; I just play them and sing them."
BB King was another great concert.
Oh God, I wish I'd been able to see him live. I really do. That would have been awesome.
We used to have a music festival downtown. We was talking about crawdads and stuff earlier on Stupid O'Clock. Oh man, great food, everything. I mean, and they would have big acts. And it was 2 nights. One night would be like blues, and the next night would be country or rock. And that year it was Willie Nelson, and one night was Willie Nelson. One night it was BB King.
wow.
Now there is a recording on YouTube of BB King and Bonnie Raitt playing together in a concert.
Oh wow!
Nice.
That's just, it will knock your socks off. I mean, you're talking about 2 people that know how to play a guitar.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, you're gonna make me break some copyright rules.
Not
I ain't
anymore.
gonna do it. Nah, I'm messing.
Don't get us banned here. I ain't even singing stuff. So
Yep. Dan, you are talking about Stegman Coliseum, aren't you? That venue in Athens.
Stegman is the one by the pool. That's an open air. The UGA Coliseum is a concrete dome, basically.
I thought Stegman was the one they played basketball in.
Well, they might call it that. I'm not sure, but as far as I remember from back when I was a student, Stegman was open air. It had an open air pool. They showed movies there. It was a nice wide open area where they had open air concerts, and then you had the Coliseum, which was a big concrete dome with four flying buttresses, and then you had the football stadium.
Yeah.
So 3 different venues for things.
Yeah.
Well, see, this campus out here has the same, like an open air, little
gathering place.
Well, they call it a amphitheater, but it's you can't get but maybe shoot 1,000 people there, if that.
Yeah.
More of an intimate setting.
I have seen an unedited version of Rocky Horror Picture Show at the let's say Legion Pool and Stegman. Legion Pool. That it was basically a parking lot that somebody had put a movie screen up in, and like I said, it was the unedited version of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it had all of the songs, not just the ones that showed up in the theater version of the movie, because there are 2, maybe 3 songs missing from the major theatrical release. So you got to see some extra stuff there. It wasn't anything more than extra songs, but
the B-52s and REM are from Athens, so it makes sense that they played there.
Yep. Matter of fact, one of the ladies from the B-52s goes to one of the antique shops that my wife likes a lot.
We probably.
Yep. We keep thinking we might run into her, and I'm going, how the hell can I say hello to Kate without looking like I'm a sad fanboy? And I go, ain't no way, so I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
Where are they? Oh, no.
Turn this into Wayne's World.
Stop channel.
Oh, yeah. REM is well known for the guys would walk around downtown, go to the shops and everything, right there close to the UGA arches on College Avenue and Baxter Street, and Love Tractor, Pylon. Well, there are other bands whose names I cannot say for reasons, but Athens was a hotbed of music back in that time, and I don't think it's changed any. I think they're still popping out new bands quicker than science experiments can come up with new species of guppies or whatever. But
I got to see one concert at the Atlanta Civic Center. It was the first concert I ever had to go through a metal detector.
Oh, really?
Searched, yes. Bad Company and Damn Yankees were on tour. This was in support of, I believe it was Damn Yankees' first album and Bad Company's Holy Water album. So it was a very good show. And of course, Brian Howell was with the band at the time. And I know some people don't like him. I like his version as well as Paul Rogers' version of the band.
That would have been their 4th album or thereabouts?
It was their 3rd with Brian
Third.
singing live.
Okay. I lose
They
track
did
of
Fame
time
and Fortune,
sometimes.
and then Dangerous Age, and then Holy Water was that one. And I believe their 4th album with him was Here Comes Trouble, which was their last album with him. And sadly, he died a couple years ago. I was going to go see him in Macon. They took a government city hall or something and turned it into a concert venue. It has really good acoustics. It's got that classic Roman Greek architecture. And the Bad Boys of Rock tour was going to have Great White, Molly Hatchet, and Brian Howell, formerly of Bad Company.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Brian Howell's health was getting bad at the time. I didn't know he had heart issues. And I believe he died 2 years ago.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah. Something heart related.
We're getting to the time of our lives where all our heroes are much older than we are and dropping like flies.
John, do you see that comment?
Well, I was about to
Sean?
say.
Huh?
Sean says, put me on this thing. Send him a link.
Oh, I gotta do that. It ain't my show.
Somebody send him a link.
I'll do it.
Dan, you was talking about people dropping like flies. I think the same year, Chris Cornell, the week after he was in Tuscaloosa and played, he passed away or OD'd, whatever. And then Daryl Singletary, the very next week he was here, had a heart attack and passed away.
There was a convention. There was a convention in South Georgia that I was supposed to go to, but I wasn't able to get time off from work. John Pertwee and Patrick Troughton were going to be there. They were both there. And that was the weekend that Patrick Troughton passed away at the convention.
Oh, wow.
Well, he was surrounded by people that loved him. And that his wife said that's the way he would have wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to have been there, and I do not believe I would have been able to keep it together. To wake up that morning and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
The night before.
Yeah. Well, the bar Daryl Singletary sung at, I know the owner and his sons and everything like that, and they went out and ate like that. And, they went out and ate Waffle House with him at 4:00 that morning. They went out and ate like that. And, they went out.
Sean, you're going to have to use headphones or something because we're getting an echo from you.
Yeah.
That's because I still had the Facebook thing up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I closed it.
If he mutes Facebook, it won't be a problem.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Is it all good now?
Yes.
Sounds good.
No echo at all. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
because I had it up in 2 windows.
So how you been doing? Haven't talked to you since last night.
Nice to meet you there, Sean.
Should we leave you two alone so you can get reacquainted? Okay.
I texted him asking him when the video was last night when I was at work at a liquor store.
Yeah, and I was in the green room at the time. So
okay, clarify. Were you at work at a liquor store, or were you texting him from a liquor store?
I was at work at the liquor store.
Did you take him some liquor?
Well, that'd be quite a distant journey since I'm in Frankfort, Kentucky, and he's in Georgia.
Yeah, that'd been about a 6-hour drive at the best.
I didn't know where. I didn't know. Nice to meet you, Sean.
Oh, nice to meet y'all too.
I have not seen Sean. I know I've met him before at one of the conventions. I just cannot remember which one.
You have met me at LibertyCon.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. I
And
haven't had enough to drink to remember some of my con friends yet.
I understand completely. In fact,
John-
I'm the one that gives you drinks at LibertyCon.
Yep.
So
John would be working security, and Sean would be violating security by working at the bar.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes.
Yeah. At LibertyCon, I work for Vaughn in the con suite.
Yep.
Strange enough, the last LibertyCon I was at, I was working in gaming.
Okay.
I don't know why. That's just
You
They needed me.
I guess.
trying
What
to
kind
keep
of game?
the kids quiet.
What kind of gaming were you doing?
Everything.
Oh yeah, they've got a huge variety of stuff.
There was this curmudgeon called Steve Jackson. Perhaps you've heard of him.
Maybe.
Steve Jackson Games.
And
Yeah.
he showed up showing off some of his new wares or
Showing
old wares.
off, yeah.
Technically old wares that he was.
In fact, Dan asked me to go to LibertyCon for years before I actually showed up. You know, where I had talked to Dan for like 12 years before I actually met you.
Yep.
Something like that.
And if it hadn't been for Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell, you still wouldn't have gone.
There you go.
The chance to meet those two gentlemen, you could not pass up.
Yep.
And I curse myself every day for not going before then, because all of a sudden I had 750 new best friends.
Yep. You can talk about a lot of stuff with.
Yeah.
Yep. LibertyCon is one of the cons that basically once you show up and you figure it out, it's a family reunion, and you're invited back time and time again.
And that's why I'm on staff now.
They will lure you in eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, that's some of the best guys I've ever met. So
You got a fan club, Sean. Let's hope they don't have real clubs.
Well, interesting comment, but yeah. But if it weren't for Dan, I wouldn't have known that LibertyCon existed.
Well, I still got to learn some more about it. We started into that last week.
Yeah.
Before my allergies kicked my ass.
Well, unfortunately, I think the memberships, even the expanded memberships, are now sold out.
Yeah, but I got Steve Sloan to get one.
Oh, Sloan, yeah.
Yeah,
How long has it been since he was there?
He's coming this next year.
This is an awkward question. Is his dad still alive?
I don't know.
The first LibertyCon I went to, I met Sloan and his dad in an autograph line. And I do believe it was Larry Niven and Jerry Purnell, but this was like 8 or 10 years before the one that you went to with the same two gentlemen as guests of honor. And for some reason, I think Sloan was wearing a T-shirt with his name on the back of it. And I'm going, Steve Sloan, I know you from the Larry Niven chat room. And he goes, and turned around, and he's like 8 feet tall and 5 feet wide.
I've never met him.
Oh God, he's large, not overweight. He's just built on a heroic scale.
Yeah.
Now, I zapped him when there were like 30 some memberships left at LibertyCon, and he said he got his. So hopefully he'll be there next year.
All right. Looking forward to that reunion. Well, there's going to be a lot of people there that we have not seen in at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Vaughn and Stephanie last year at the Dalton Con that you couldn't go to.
Was that the Mad Mike Con?
Yes, that was the first Mad Mike Con.
Yeah. Yep. That's what they called it. Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're still calling it that.
They've had several. They've had one in up near Nashville and one in Dalton.
Yeah,
Well,
there's been two since. Yes.
They keep moving hotels because of different restrictions and
confinement. I think it was also called.
Yeah.
Because Dan keeps doing bad stuff.
No. I've been a very good boy. I've been staying home and only going to work at the grocery store or off to visit my mother. And got to do that tomorrow. Actually, I've got to go visit my oldest daughter and my mother because their birthdays were Thursday. And I don't think we got to do any grocery shopping or anything. We've been doing a lot of grocery shopping, but I think we've got like 2 months supply of food now, except for dog food and cat food and stuff, because those would run out quicker than I run out of Egg McMuffins and whatnot. But, is that one of your wines? Is that something you made yourself?
No, this is cheap Kroger bought wine because I was out of work for a while, like everybody else, and I'll start making wine again here probably in about 2 weeks.
Gentlemen, you heard it here. This man is a high-class winemaker. I have tasted some, and believe me, it's better than what you can get in a store.
I have a good story about that, but let me refill this glass before I tell it.
I need to make some wine. My wife would thoroughly enjoy that.
Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't say she'd pitch fit.
No. She's in there having her vodka and tonic. So.
Okay. I work in a liquor store. And before I worked in this particular liquor store, I worked at the biggest liquor store in Frankfurt called Red Dot, which was bought by another person, and now I call it Red Dot in name only. But while it was the best liquor store in Frankfurt, I ran the wine room. Okay. I make my own wine. The next batch I do will be batch number 49, and you get about 30 bottles of wine out of it every time you do a batch of wine. And this one time I went up to work and I took a bottle of Pinot Noir that I had made. And it was 3 months in the bottle, and I had not tasted anything off this batch. I was going to just give it to the manager of the store. And a rep came in trying to get into our VIP wine tasting, and she brought 6 bottles of red wine. And we all tasted it. It was Jerome, myself, Jerome, the store manager, the Teresa, the overall manager, and myself, and this woman, Pilar. And we tasted all 6 of these red wines, and Jerome, who's a red wine fan, me, a red wine fan, and Teresa, who is not really a red wine fan, and we all found that they were kind of lacking in body, watered down a little bit. At the end of it, I told Jerome, said, why don't you just go ahead and open that bottle of Pinot Noir and let's see how that stands up. And I poured for all 4 of us. Teresa, who does not like red wine, says, oh my, I get exactly what I'm expecting. Jerome takes a sip and goes, oh wow. And Pilar takes a sip and just starts putting all these wine bottles back away. Because I have to feed 6 commercial wineries with what I made at the time on my kitchen table.
Wow.
Now you can listen to Dan. He's tasted wine off my table before.
Oh yes. Oh
He's
yes.
only had Merlot and Cab. He hadn't tasted a Pinot Noir that I've made.
No, I haven't, and I'm not a wine snob or anything, but I do enjoy the taste of all sorts of different things: white wine, red wine, Thunderbird, and TJ Night Train.
Burn my ass. Let's just say that the con suite staff loves when I show up at the end of the con and I with my little bag and I go, here, let's have a little wine and end this thing up. And they're like, oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's one hell of a dead dog party right there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
But I have to thank Dan for getting me into the con thing. I mean, I didn't really know anything about it until Dan hooked me up with it. So.
Yep. Thank an introvert for getting an extrovert interested in something that's really extroverted.
I'm still an introvert. I just really push at the con. So.
Yeah, we all have our Jekyll and Hyde moments. And,
I did see where Aretha Frankenstein's opening back up.
Yes.
Yes, and if you show up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you might actually get a table.
7 o'clock.
In about 4 hours.
Show up at 7 o'clock one morning, and you might get a table by 7 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah, no shit. But I mean, they promote their biscuits. I don't give a shit. I just want the breakfast cream.
So, Sean, have you attended any conventions up in the Kentucky area?
No, I the only convention I've ever gone to is LibertyCon.
There are some good ones up there, and even a little bit further north, that's still within driving distance of you. We know some folks in Indiana and Illinois that have had some really nice cons. God, there's got to be more. I used to subscribe to the Southern Fandom
convention
resource guide. Yeah. Matter of fact, I had that as a regular feature in Aphelion during the first decade or so of Aphelion's life, but it got to the point to where there was just so much.
Oh yeah.
It was difficult to go ahead and redo a web page for everything that was going on.
Yeah.
Instead of being able to link to their own website.
I should look into it.
It was a mailing list rather than a website. So nowadays, I think it's a website.
Yeah. There's usually at least 3 things going on every weekend, if not more. There are literally more conventions.
Yeah, but if I want to go to a convention, I want it to be more LibertyCon like and not a what's this roving Comic Con thing?
Or Dragon Con, which is like, let's move an entire city into 4 hotels in Atlanta.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't want that. I want LibertyCon, except somewhere closer.
Yeah. Sean, you should look up Imaginarium because it is writer based and it is in the Louisville, Kentucky area, so it's not that far from you.
It wouldn't be at all.
That's 45 minutes away, yeah.
So
send him up there to Bill.
But they've already had theirs this year, but definitely check it out because there's some good people involved with that.
I gotta answer this one, guys. Is LibertyCon already sold out? Not only is the normal LibertyCon 750 memberships sold out, the expanded 1,000 memberships sold out in less than a day. And we're talking about the difference between the rollover of everybody that was going to the 750 and the new limit of 1,000, which was just established during the lockdown period.
Yeah.
LibertyCon sells out in less than half an hour.
Yes, the 750 sold out in 29 minutes and 13 seconds.
Where's that? I know I asked it last week. Where's that?
It's in
one at?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. Yep. Now, if you go to any con in Chattanooga, you run into a lot of the same people,
Oh yes.
and you are guaranteed the same level of excellence.
Yeah.
It might not be the same guests, it might not be the same theme, but they have the same philosophy. They're going to show you a good time and make you long for the next year to come around so you can come back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All of them are like that.
That's absolutely true. I mean, the first time I went, I felt like family already, and by the next year, I was, oh my God, I was waiting for that weekend.
You were, yeah, and then not too long after that, you were invited to be staff working the con suite.
Yeah.
Well, I had already worked the con suite for I think 2 years before I was officially put on staff,
Mm.
and now I'm in the book.
A talented amateur, yes.
Yeah, and my wife and Janice, my wife, is now on staff. Unfortunately, the book Give Me LibertyCon, the stuff for that was set. All the people were set the year before I was actually on staff. Mm-hmm. So I'm not in the book, but there may be references to me in the book.
They're doing a sequel, so you may be in the sequel.
Well, if they're doing a sequel, I will be in the sequel.
I think I heard that they're doing a sequel, so because it was the first one was really popular.
Oh wow! I wanted to say, there's this new girl. There's this new girl at work in the office. Mm-hmm. She's head of personnel now, and she looks almost exactly like Brandy from 10 years ago.
Oh wow!
Really?
I mean, it's like deja vu, and I'm just standing there going, haven't I known you for 20 years? But no, totally different lady. But this girl looks like she could be one of Brandy's daughters
or doppelganger.
Oh yeah, but a bit younger. Yeah, because Brandy doesn't look like a teenager anymore, and this girl does.
Yeah.
So could be Beth the Story of Aurora's hidden twin or something. But
hey, I'm just glad that I met Uncle Timmy a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well, he's the one that really set the standard and tradition for LibertyCon. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say it's still being upheld to his standard.
Oh, of course.
And
thank God Brandy loves it, and she does such an amazing job with it, and she's got a crack staff.
Yeah. And well, everybody on the staff is going, how can we do this the way we're supposed to do this, and we make it the best we can make it?
Oh,
it's that kind of con family.
Yeah,
because you got people that care.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of us have been at some convention at one point, or most of us have, where they've had some people that didn't really care. Sometimes it was just they didn't know what they were doing, but you could also tell they kind of weren't all that into being on staff. I mean, they kind of got corralled into it or whatever. And
or they gone off on the power trip of, I'm a convention staff now.
Yeah.
Oh no, Janice and myself, we're gonna do the absolute best we can to.
I wasn't talking about you. I mean, good grief.
Oh no. There are other conventions out there besides LibertyCon and Anacrocon and the things that are family reunion cons.
Yeah.
There are much larger spectacle cons that
I don't
I
care
would.
about spectacle con. I want a family.
Dragon Con.
Yeah,
And
wouldn't
Shadowcon's got some pretty
attend
good
on a
people,
bet
too.
even if they were paying me.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say that. If you pay me, I'll attend the opening of an envelope. But
You know, I went to the first Liberty Con when it was in one hotel.
Mhm.
Wasn't even a big hotel.
first Liberty Con in one hotel?
I'm
Did you
sorry,
mean
not
Dragon
Liberty.
Con?
Dragon Con. First Dragon Con.
Yeah.
It was in one hotel. Wasn't even a big hotel.
Mhm.
Down near the Varsity in Atlanta.
Mhm.
The biggest draw, yeah.
And apparently somebody at that convention opened Pandora's box and it turned into NASCAR. That's
That's the best description I've heard yet. Yeah.
See, I don't think I'd like Dragon Con.
I went to one of the earliest ones. I don't think it was the first one. I think it was around 90 or 91. They were downtown and it was summer because they hadn't moved to Labor Day weekend at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Marina Sirtis was a guest there.
Uh-huh.
And it's the first time I met artist Ruth Thompson, who pretty big fantasy artist. She just graduated college, and some other people. And it was, obviously I just did a day trip. I couldn't afford a hotel room there or anything because I was a college student. But it was a totally different experience from when I went back when it turned into the monstrosity that it has become.
Some of the guests there I would really love to see, but not there.
Yeah.
I'd pay to see them in an auditorium doing their own stuff, but when you get 40 to 60,000 people in one hotel, or four very, very closely connected hotels, I'm going, that's too many rats in a small box.
Well,
I agree with you, Dan.
if you look at the Marriott Marquis atrium, any other time of the year, you're thinking, man, there's plenty of room for people to walk around. You go to Dragon Con, you literally have about this much space between you and the next person.
Yeah, well, if you can't levitate, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that at all.
No, it's way too crowded, and I have to admit, yes, I do have a phobia of large crowds, so I am not comfortable with a lot of people in a very small space. I have a lot of trouble just going to a Walmart to Christmas shop, much less going to something as big as Dragon Con or one of the Comic Cons, no matter what coast it's on. But Liberty Con feels like a family reunion, so it doesn't trigger my fear.
Your anxiety.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't exist. My anxiety is gone. It's like I'm walking in, and this is some of my closest friends ever, and I'm just glad to see everybody.
Yeah, Josh, it's at least 80,000 people, and there's probably more, but they don't want the fire marshal involved.
It's grown a lot. It
There's
has grown a lot.
No way I could deal with it.
And
those roving Comic Cons. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over top of it.
No, you're good. I'm just saying there's no way I could deal with that.
There is one cool memory I have, though. You're talking about late August, first part of September, and summer in Atlanta, so naturally it's going to be humid and muggy and miserable, and you do have the occasional thunderstorm. Well, they had a really big thunderstorm, and everybody was crowding in to the hotels to get out of the rain. This guy dressed up as Thor turned back and looked and said, "Sorry about the storm, folks."
Hey, it's still storming here, Chris. So.
Yeah. But that was a cool moment where somebody dressed up as Thor and is actually apologizing for the thunder or the thunderstorm and lightning. It was cool.
Oh, that's just awesome.
Oh, there was one LibertyCon when we're still at the Choo Choo, and it was just a torrential rain. And we talked the hotel staff into unlocking the secret passageway between buildings, so we could go from the con suite to the second hotel without having to get wet.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, thank you. But it was one of those places. It was a service corridor for the hotel staff, and it was locked up so that guests of the con and the hotel would not be able to wander around in there and wind up in the laundry room or something.
Getting in the mischief.
That's pre-me.
Yeah. And they opened it up and they let us go because it was like bucketing down.
Torrential rainfall.
Yeah. And well, Chattanooga, you got an awful lot of humidity anyway.
Yeah.
But when it starts raining, it gets serious.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't fooling around here.
Hey, I lived in Florida for 4 years. I know 4 o'clock every day in Florida, you have a torrential downpour, for 15 minutes and it's gone. So
yeah, well, this one lasted a couple of hours, so we were grateful for the secret passage.
Yeah,
we felt like we were in a Harry Potter movie. We went between the walls.
Yeah, there's a big old river that they have to draw moisture from. The clouds is. They took advantage of it that day.
Oh Lord, yeah.
That's kind of like here in Tuscaloosa. Nice river and nice humidity.
You're in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to school there for a few years.
Oh, cool.
I know the river you're talking about. I've skied on it.
Oh, yeah. I've did a lot of stuff.
Some of which you can actually mention in public. Yes.
Yeah. Some nice sandbars and stuff like that.
Hey, is that restaurant still across the river from the main part of town?
You talking about Cypress Inn right there?
The
one right on the river?
Yeah.
No, they've closed it. They're actually going to open up, and it's changing into a southern something. I can't remember what it's called.
It was kind of a seafood restaurant back 30 years.
Oh, are you talking about the one across right across the bridge?
I think so.
Going into Northport. Yeah, it's closed. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, it's closed. It closed during COVID.
I haven't been in Tuscaloosa since like 1990. So,
I think you're thinking of Steamers, probably.
It's been so long, I don't really remember the name.
Actually, that sounds like a story that Sean's told before. So yeah, I'm guessing that's the right place. I'll be right back.
Well, they had fresh seafood, and they had a restaurant too.
Yeah,
like best oysters and stuff like that.
I love oysters. So yeah, that's I guarantee that's where I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's been a long time since I've been in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I mean, stuff's changed so much since that tornado hit here, man. It's unreal. Which I stay south of the city. I stay down in Foster's, which I don't know if you.
At this particular time, I was at the university, so.
Yeah. So yeah, which I mean, they've added so many new restaurants and stuff out there. It's unreal.
I mean, it's been what, 31 years? I don't want to say 41 years. That's probably closer to it.
Hell, that's older than I am.
I'm 52 years old, so
I'll be
yeah. So
37.
30. It has to be 30 years thereabout.
I'll be 37. So,
Oh,
but
fuck you.
uh,
Sorry. All right.
no, you're good. Man, they've added so much stuff after that tornado. That tornado came straight up 15th Street.
Really?
Oh yeah, it flattened everything down through there. I mean, there was nothing left. So, and of course, they're gonna rebuild all kinds of bull crap too.
I
Which that's
mean,
what they've
well,
done.
it's the freaking University of Alabama. Of course, they're going to rebuild.
Oh yeah,
It's not saving heaven. You know what are you going to
oh
do?
well, that's what I was about to say. There's apartments and condos up through there now that wasn't there. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna say it now. Fucking ridiculous.
Oh, I popped the cork on that, so now everybody's going to say it.
It's after 2:00 Eastern Standard Time, or are we Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight?
Yeah,
They
Daylight.
like
I got a refill too, so I'll be right back.
Fall's gonna be standard.
just stay on one time. It'd be great.
Yeah, I keep saying, if you got to have a compromise between standard time and daylight savings time, just change the time by half an hour and freaking leave it there.
Yeah.
I can remember when the U.S. Postal Service went to the 29-cent stamp, and I was like,
What was
why?
that? 1803?
They had a 29-cent stamp, and I was like, 29? Who thought this up?
Why not just go to 30 and save a year?
Go to 30 and take all those extra pennies that you don't need at the moment, invest them, and they'd never have to increase the stamp price ever again. Just keep rolling over their investment.
That's an interesting question, though, is who has sent in a payment by mail lately?
Some of them have to.
I'm sorry.
I think the last check that the last paper check I have ever written was in 2019 for getting repairs done at a little hole-in-the-wall shop nearby that did not have a card reader, and if I didn't have $250 in cash, the check was the only way to pay them off. And
that's what I mean.
I looked in the checkbook register, and for the last 3 years, those were the same people that I wrote a check to. One right after the other for repairs on my wife's car. So
the water company water company and the power company we have out here in the sticks. I'd have to drive.
My reward for being a good boy.
They don't take payments over the internet or by phone.
I'm not at work.
So, in which the water company is just the sad part. The water company is 3 blocks up the road, and they still can't even call them.
Yeah,
there's a meme on the internet where the guy goes, the company wants him to fill out an application and fax it to them. And he sends back, says, "I don't have fax service where I live." I go, "Really? Where do you live?" And he goes, "The 21st century."
Exactly.
What's it? That's the sad part. I've got fiber optic spectrum. I mean, I can get a terabyte of internet service.
Oh, that's better than me. I'm 100 megabit. They're about to put fiber in here and gigabit, I mean,
Well, that's what I meant a gig, but
I know what you
I'm
mean.
running. I'm running 400 right now. So, uh, since you was here, in what year did you say you went to school here?
It
90.
was 86, 87, 88.
Well, I'm
Hey
sure you
guys,
went to. Sure.
I'm going to bow
Go.
out for the night. It's been nice talking and everything. Nice seeing you again, Sean.
All right.
Nice seeing you, John.
See you, John.
Yeah,
All right,
John.
John.
Good night.
You
All right,
take
till
care.
later.
Take care,
All
buddy.
right.
I just
I'm
want to
sure.
say thanks for inviting me in. I'm enjoying this.
Oh well,
Gosh.
we do it every week. So, well, actually twice a week. At this is the only time we can let it go on forever. So
Yeah.
Thursday nights it's kind of
I know Thursday
Brief.
nights is stupid o'clock. So this is just a continuation of stupid o'clock.
No,
basically yeah. It used to be the after show for Stupid O'Clock, and it came to the point to where Joe didn't really want to stay up late.
Yeah.
And I'm going, dude, this is my territory. Let me have it.
Yeah, I
And,
know what's your territory, you
No,
fucking
I was about to say,
won't ever fucking sleep guy. Let me tell you.
He does
I
this
tell
on
this guy,
Thursday.
I call him at LibertyCon, come on, let's go to breakfast. And he's like, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. He's like, we just barely woke up. And if I hadn't called him, he wouldn't have been woke up.
We just went to bed, dude.
Bed. He's like me because I'll be on. I mean,
I've been out at the pool getting drunk for 17 hours. I mean, God, give me a break.
You know, you remember the strip out there, Sean?
Oh yeah,
don't you? Yeah. Egan's. Do you remember Egan's bar?
I don't remember Egan's.
Well, it's like the oldest bar out there. I think it's like 40 something years old.
Well, it was probably something else when I was there. I was probably in it.
No, it was actually Egan's. I mean, it's always been Egan's.
Okay.
It was it was right there. I don't know if Buffalo Fields was down there when you was out here or not, but it was right there on the corner. I can't remember what was there back then. Oh, but it was Egan's, and normally they had indie rock in there. It was a little rock bar, and they closed it up this year because of COVID too. I mean,
I tell you, my favorite thing down there was they had a picture show, and I had a buddy of mine down there from up here in Kentucky, and we watched RoboCop for the first time in it, and it was the picture show, you know, where you had a pitcher of beer in front of you
and a movie on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That was over there on. Are you talking about the one downtown, or?
I'm talking about the one right there at the university.
Oh yeah. Dan, that was the amphitheater thing I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where like they used to have concerts and stuff.
Well, they may have, but we watched
that's probably after
for the first time, and we were sitting there underage drinking at the picture show.
No, I mean that wasn't nothing. Yeah.
Welcome to college.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Fact, isn't that where didn't REM get their start right there at the strip I'm talking about? I think.
No, REM was in
they
Athens.
Started at Athens, but yeah, they played college. They played
everywhere.
College. Yeah.
I know I was at Alabama in one of the bars, and some guy came in and talked to the bartender, and they brought in REM stuff, and they played when I was there.
I know.
In the
Well, I was
bar,
about to say.
drinking underage.
I was about to say Sister Hazel. I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
You name it, they've played. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
some of them I can't remember, but
At one time, George Thurgood played colleges a lot when he was starting
Yep.
out.
Hey, Mother's Finest played Athens quite often. I think at least once a year, and it was one of the well, I won't say one of the larger bars, but it was one of the more roomy bars.
Okay.
Not the most popular place, but
Yeah.
the one that had the most floor room for people to dance in and the biggest stage.
That's perfect for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because once they get playing, if you don't start moving, an
you'll
Undertaker's
get
going to
run
be
over.
measuring you.
Yeah.
Believe me, if you don't get up and start moving when Baby Love comes on,
Yeah.
you're dead. Yep.
The minute she starts having sound come out of her voice and you hear that bass line.
All you need is the bass line, and then she comes in. Oh
Yeah.
Lord! Oh,
Yeah.
that is just amazing. And then we had there's so many clubs around Athens. I swear, some of them are holes in the wall.
Mhm.
Some of them you wish were holes in the ground, so you could shovel over them.
Hey,
But
some of the holes in the wall are the best ones you'll ever.
oh, I know.
That's like Harry's bar down here.
In Georgia, you have 3 hotbeds of music. You have the Atlanta area, you have the Athens area, and you have the Macon area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I keep waiting for Savannah to catch up, but it just don't seem to be making the grade.
Yeah, I think they're more interested in being laid back and one of those royal
Highfalutin
cities
places.
of the coast, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Aristocratic, maybe is the word I'm looking
We drink our tea like this.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Hey, what the hell's
if you
that?
want me to be fancy, I'll hold my pinky out while I'm drinking my beer.
So will I.
But Macon is famous for the Allman Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Macon had its own sound. I mean, not only the Allman Brothers, but there were half a dozen other bands that took off from there.
Oh, yeah.
Just from being there for the recording studios.
And
that's like Clarksdale, Mississippi. I mean,
well, and Muscle Shoals,
Muscle Shoals,
Alabama. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Muscle Shoals influenced a lot of bands and music, and a lot of them wanted to play with those musicians because they were such great musicians.
Yeah,
and the recording facilities they had there were top notch.
Yeah.
So
not only that, but the studio musicians they had on hand, as you were saying, were absolutely top notch. And
see, the radio station was what, WSM out of Montgomery back then.
WSM, I think that's Nashville.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one out of Montgomery that was.
But the thing about
big
Allman Brothers, you had a little bit.
WSM's the one that does the Opry.
And
that's right.
Blues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact, I went to the.
I'm glad y'all brought an Alabama person on here. Somebody went to Alabama at least. I mean, we kind of split this shit up finally.
Hey, we try and give a shout out to Alabama, but
I'm just glad that y'all had me on. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem whatsoever.
Yeah. What part? Be on finally.
What part of Kentucky did you say you're from?
I'm from the capital.
Frankfurt.
Oh, Frankfurt.
Yeah, you can either call it Louisville or Louisville.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it?
Frankfurt.
Oh well.
So much for that.
The big town, Louisville.
I pronounce it Mary's home.
Oh. Whatever you want to call it, I'll call it whatever.
I was
No,
told by
Louisville.
somebody from there how it was pronounced. It was Louisville.
that's a joke. Frankfurt is the capital, but everybody in
Yeah,
Kentucky says, "How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Louisville or Louisville?" Everybody says Louisville, and you say, "Oh no, it's Frankfurt." But there you go.
Well, Lexington's closer to Frankfurt than Louisville is anyway.
Well, Louisville's 45 minutes up the road. That's where the
Lexington's a lot closer, though.
Yep.
Did y'all get some bad weather today?
No, we had stellar weather today. It was actually beautiful.
Oh, well, yeah. It must went to.
Probably
It
closer
must.
to winter, they probably get some bad.
It had to go to the west.
You've got to understand. Sean's house is just a little bit above the river, and if it gets bad weather, he got to put the stilts up a little higher.
No, that's one way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just asking. I know that.
Hey, he's got his own beach. I mean, good grief. How
Oh,
well can
really?
you have it? Yeah.
Damn. We need to go up there for Hallowcon. Hell.
Come on.
We can have a Sean Con if you want.
Sean Con.
Pick another weekend. We gotta have Hallowcon.
Yeah. Some place when it ain't blindingly hot, but still relatively warm. I mean, we don't want to have it in December.
The river's up about 8 feet right now, so the beach is unstickable.
Oh.
Due to we had like 3 inches of rain a few days ago, and stuff's coming down river from where Fred went through east of Lexington. All that feeds into the Kentucky River Basin, which is what's behind my house, the Kentucky River. So there's no stickable beach. If you're coming by boat, you can still go down on the sand.
Well, I'm asking that's what I do is weather all day, every day.
Yeah, there was a kid I used to know that had an acre of land and a Jack Daniels contest. It was in Kentucky, and I asked him, was it on the underside of the hill or the upper side? And he goes, I don't know. I ain't never been there. And I go, yeah, you're paying taxes on that acre, ain't you? And he goes, yeah. Needless to say, he was rather young. I don't know how long he kept it after having to pay taxes on something he's never seen.
Yeah.
But, oh, Lord.
There's worse prizes in a contest, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I have ridden a motorcycle through West Virginia. I know what the undersides of hills look like when they've got a 4-lane on them, and you're looking over to your right and going, "That's 7,000 feet down. I can see hell from here."
Yeah, must be over the New River Gorge.
Oh,
that big bridge that they do bungee jumping off of sometimes.
Yeah, don't ever ask them how often they change the rubber band. They go every time it breaks.
well.
Here I am hanging with these people. Holy shit.
You asked for it.
You wanted to come see us.
It'd be worse if we were in person. We wouldn't have to be censoring things for Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm on the show.
Because
I'm talking.
Oh, Lord.
Josh.
All right. This is going to be my last. Go ahead.
You got an idea when you're going to have a better idea if you're going to be able to make Hallowcon or not?
I will know. Shit. See, I done did. I thought I'd done exited out.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Dog about jinx me.
Whoa.
I want to do Hallowcon. I just don't have the money at the moment.
I will know the 31st.
Well, Sean, I can tell you, up until October 1st, it's $35 online for a badge, and that includes your food all weekend. And the rooms are only $69 a night, king or double. So
seriously,
and Chris, the only reason I say that
I will be there because I'll have the money next year.
Yeah.
I'm just Chris and want to build up some extra funds before I do anything.
I understand. I was just wanting to let you. I didn't know your exact situation. I wasn't trying to get into it. I was just.
No worries.
It is kind of affordable at the moment.
And Chris, the reason I'm saying that is, I've got I've got health issues going on, and I've got to make sure.
Oh, I understand. I was
definitely.
just looking forward to when you have better
Chris,
idea.
I was at the hotel where Hallowcon is last year for the first confinement.
Yep.
No problem. And the hotel people are fine.
Yep.
I just want to build up a little bit more funds now that I'm back working and stuff. Because all this shit.
Yeah.
My wife is not going to be working, so I'm good on that. It's just I've got to have some. Let's just say test run.
I understand.
You need a safety belt.
No, man. Did I show y'all this with that nurse?
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Well, Josh, you are welcome to come.
And bring your bruises.
Do what?
Bring your bruises.
I'll probably have.
That ain't gonna heal real quick.
No, I know. I told my wife.
That nurse did not know what she was doing.
No,
either that or you got invisible veins.
No, I didn't have invisible veins. She stuck it in. She started rolling, and she started doing this number here. I was like, "Yeah, that's gonna be bruised."
Yep, we'll find something somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's coming out the back of my elbow, lady. Pull it out and try again.
Yeah, they've been a lot better off. But
man.
I'm gonna drink this beer with y'all, and then I'm gonna go watch a movie with my wife. Since she had to work late tonight, she didn't have to go in till 3:00 this evening.
Yeah.
Well, can't
blame me for that.
Don't make her wait too long. We can let you go anytime.
You pots and pans.
Yesterday to Caesars in Indiana so she could do some 5K walk in Louisville. And she got back and she's so terribly tired that she's been asleep all freaking day.
You walk a couple miles, yeah.
I'm not faulting her one little bit.
I'm not either.
Mine will sleep all day tomorrow. Probably. I guarantee you she'll sleep all day tomorrow.
Oh, Fireball, really? I can't drink it.
Yeah, it's too much cinnamon flavor to me.
That was full when he opened it. Now,
hey, I work in a liquor store. I knew what it was the moment he showed it to me.
Yep.
I mean, I can go get another bottle of something. I got some gin in there.
No, I've tried Fireball.
I wouldn't mix the two.
I just can't drink it.
Nah, that's not a good. That's not a good morning.
That's not a good look to be waking up with the toilet in your arms.
Well, it's not a good morning either. Badass headache.
Oh yeah. Well,
no, I just don't like the taste of it. But everybody,
you're not into cinnamon though. Yeah.
I used to not like it, but I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I started liking damn cinnamon.
Well,
I might be damn pregnant. Shit.
Well, it's possible. Try
No.
remotely.
Jim
But
Beam Fire and see if you like that. Same
Do
stuff.
what?
Try Jim Beam Fire. It's the same stuff.
Oh. Yeah. I ain't thought about that.
Yeah, it's a cinnamon flavored bourbon.
Well, I'd rather have the bourbon than.
Where Fireball is a cinnamon
Just-
whiskey, not a bourbon.
Yeah, I'd rather have the bourbon.
Well, I do work in the liquor industry, and I can say that all bourbons are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are bourbon.
Yes, exactly. Do you like? Have you tried the Redneck Riviera? John Rich's.
I have not, but have you tried Screwball?
I have not.
Never heard of
Screwball
that.
is a peanut butter whiskey.
I believe y'all can keep that one.
Huh?
Yeah.
I believe y'all can keep that one.
Well, tell you what,
Which one?
if you mix it 1-to-1 with Godiva, the chocolate liqueur, it becomes a alcoholic Reese cup.
Hell, my wife might actually like that.
And if you mix it 1-to-1 with Mad Dog, it becomes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, if you mix anything with Mad Dog, you're a fucking idiot. But there you
go. But yeah, that Redneck Riviera, that's John Rich's whiskey.
if you really want to really taste
It's got a good on the back end. It's got a good vanilla kind of taste.
Do you like key lime pie?
Yeah.
All right.
Depends on who makes it.
Look for Kenny Chesney's
Yeah.
Blue Chair Bay key lime rum cream.
That sounds awfully complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to say Kenny Chesney, just key lime rum.
Sean, I'm probably going to ask you a dumb question since you live in Kentucky. Do you like bourbon?
I am much more of a wine fan than a bourbon fan, but
it's hard.
I'll answer your questions.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's one that I particularly like, made by Old Forester, called Statesman. And yes, it was in the movie The Golden Circle, too.
And it's very hard to get because of that.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I'm trying to think of one my neighbor drinks all the time. Jefferson's. That's a whiskey, I think.
Popular. No, it's a bourbon.
Jefferson Ocean.
Yep.
Which one? It's the Voyages.
I'll have to go in there and look. Well, no, I don't even have the bottle.
Actually, it's harder to find good bourbon that you want that's made in Kentucky than other places.
Yeah.
Because everybody comes to Kentucky to get it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get.
Damn those pirates.
I wish I totally wish that I could run up to the store that I work at and just grab it for you and send it to you wherever you are. But it's very hard to get certain stuff.
Oh yeah, I was about to say Jefferson is like $100 a bottle.
Yeah.
Now I am reminded that there is a place where I can mail order Krupnik, and somebody from Aphelion sent me a couple of bottles, and it was almost as good as what I made myself, and I didn't have to make it, so that made it even better. I'm going to have to look that up and see if I can find and mail order
Jefferson's Oceans. If it's Oceans that you're wanting, the cool thing about that is each one is a voyage because the casks are put on boats and they go all the way around the world. And
I didn't know that.
The thing is the product sloshing around inside on all seas of the world before they bottle.
Guess that salt water kind of.
Oh, he knows what I'm talking
Well,
about.
you get the char from the inside of the barrels.
Right.
I
You
don't know
have to
about
get the
salt
char
water
from the
unless
barrel
the ship
anyway.
sinks.
But Jefferson's Ocean is where it's sloshed all the way around, and it's got that little bit of saltiness that filters in and that kind of stuff. So,
So basically, they store the barrels in the bilge and let it soak through.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
It's Scotch. Dan, you drink Scotch?
Very, very rarely. I have to admit, I do not have the palate to appreciate the difference between one kind and another. There's one or two that are really, really smoky tasting.
Yes.
That I can really appreciate, but there's the rest of them all just taste the same to me, so I can't tell one from the other. It's got to be. I think the expression is very, very peaty.
Yeah.
You understand that most Scotch is aged in used bourbon barrels.
Yeah.
You know, they buy them because they only used once.
They reuse it.
And then they ship them to Scotland where they're reused to age.
They build hotels out of them, yeah.
Interestingly enough, one of Churchill's favorite scotches was Johnny Walker Red.
Did not know that.
Oh, something I found out when Lindsay and I were visiting England back in the 2010, 2011 sort of time frame. One of the most popular American liquors that are sold in grocery stores alongside bread and cheese and milk is Southern Comfort.
Yep.
They love that stuff. They absolutely love that stuff.
Yep.
I can't sell it.
You can't sell it? Nobody buys it, or you're not allowed to?
Nobody buys it.
Oh, well, ship it to England. They'll buy plenty of it.
I'll tell the owner. He'll ship it.
Send it down here. They'll buy it. That Canadian Mist. Send it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, Canadian Mist sells a bunch.
Yeah. I used to actually keep a half gallon of Canadian Mist, and I would basically just pour about 3 ounces into a water glass tumbler and top it off with a little bit of tap water and 2 ice cubes, and go to town on it. And I'd be knee walking within half an hour or two.
I actually remember an old liquor ad I saw on the back of somebody's magazine one time. It was for Canadian Club, and it had how to throw a major league fastball and curveball.
Canadian Club.
That's
about as low end as you can go.
Canadian Club, Club 400. Look at it.
Oh, good God. Anything lower than that, you're going to Mad Dog.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with Mad Dog if you're in the mood to have the culture to back it up.
Hey, if you drank Mad Dog 2020 growing up, you have nothing to fear about the COVID virus.
Hey.
That or some Boone's Farm? I mean,
Boone's Farm?
Oh, hell yeah.
Or Thunderbird. Or Wild Australia wine. Yeah. I have had it all.
I don't know if you could have made that out.
Dan, you sure you ain't my brother or something? I mean,
Now, wait a minute. Dan is my brother. Thank you.
Well, we might all. I mean, we could be all.
He could be your fun uncle.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Daddy did get around, but as far as I know,
So-
he kept his pants zipped. So you know, we'd have to be
Do what,
brother
babe?
in spirits,
Yeah.
Come here.
not in spirit, but in spirits.
I'm coming.
According to this discussion, what? Who? Now that ain't my wife. Whose is it?
That was mine.
Oh, Will.
Oh,
Tell her we said she's fine.
yep.
Where's your wife?
Well,
Tell her,
okay.
drop by and
Which
say
one?
hi.
Which one?
Where's Dan's wife?
She's been in bed for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
She got to go to church in the morning.
Okay.
Shit. My wife ain't going to damn church. I know that.
Hey, well, if it weren't for my mama, mine wouldn't be either. But and
Yeah.
Mama wants me to go, and I go, you want the building to burn down if I walk in?
Mhm.
I still, I'm still wanting to do the ultimate altar boy thing, which is have the preacher throw the wand of water and me go, oh, it burns, and run out of the.
Oh, did you hear the one? I don't think it actually ever happened. I think somebody made it up, but some guy was supposed to get baptized, and he got one of those black orchid bath bombs and cut it in half and stuffed it in the armpits of his shirt that he was going to be baptized in. So they throw him back in the baptismal font, and all of a sudden everything turns black and starts foaming, and he jumps up screaming to the top of his lungs, and the preacher banned him from the church for the rest of his life.
That
All
sounds,
right. Look.
that sounds apocryphal, but yeah.
Oh, I think it is. I think somebody just made it. Holy.
Hello.
What am I doing?
Wait, hold on. She can't hear y'all. Here, put that in your ear. She got to put that in her ear.
Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
Wait, can you hear? Wait, can you hear him?
I really don't know.
Well, we're
Wait,
not
hold
saying
on.
anything at the moment.
Hold
but,
on. Let me wait. She can't. Here, put this one in.
You only got one earphone that works?
Wait.
I
There.
really don't know what I'm doing.
Here. Don't mash no buttons. Can you hear?
Nice
Right.
to meet you.
Yep.
You can hear now, can't you? Tell Dan and everybody, hey.
I don't really know what I'm
Hello.
doing.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yep. Nice meeting you.
And thank you for letting your old man hang out with us so late at night.
I can't.
He said thanks for letting me hang out with him.
And we all said hi.
I can't.
He said, they said, hey.
Okay. I can't hear anything.
I don't know if she turned my mic off or what, but
No, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we can
y'all.
hear him. We can
You
hear
can hear
her.
her?
We can hear you.
well,
She just
Evidently,
can't hear
she
us.
couldn't hear us.
I don't know why.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it might just be because I was flirting a little bit. So you know,
I heard you.
I know you heard me. I tried to keep it respectable now.
Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off here.
Yeah, you need to spend some time with her.
So, y'all have a good one, and we'll
Appreciate
catch
you
up
hanging.
this week,
Yep. See you Thursday night.
Yep.
Thursday night. Have a good one,
Alrighty.
Sean. Good to meet you, brother.
Well, I'll try to be back again.
Do what?
I said I'll try to be back again.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Good seeing you again,
Y'all have a good
Josh.
one.
Take care.
You have a good night. And from all appearances, he is going to.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. And God
Our
bless
other
him.
Josh said hello to
Looking
wife
at
and
that,
baby
I'm
Josh.
freaking bald. Holy shit. Oh, well.
Huh? You ain't, neither one of you are bald. Highbrow, maybe, but
This part didn't used to be so thin.
every time I get mine cut, it thins out a little bit more and turns a little bit grayer. And I'm going, how much grayer can you get from fucking white? You know?
But having a bunch of family members die within about a 6-year period will do that to you.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Especially when your parents within less than a year of each other. But life goes on.
Yeah. Doesn't get any easier, but it keeps going.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can discuss music and the various other subject matters with all of y'all, so that does provide some amusement and entertainment and enjoyment.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm here, is to amuse and entertain and try and come up with some snappy repartee. Oh, good Lord, I spoke French. Tish, come here.
That was one of the best parts of the Atom family.
I know. It was one of the healthiest married relationships that was ever on TV. That and the Munsters, actually.
Yep.
Much, much healthier than Leave It to Beaver or any of the other classics from the same era.
Yeah.
Still. It is. Oh Lord, I know we're already rolled past it because it's after midnight, but it was yesterday. Catwoman's birthday.
Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar. Yes, indeed. Thank you. I could not dredge that name up.
And Gene Roddenberry's the day
yes,
before.
Gene Roddenberry's. Yes.
Yep.
And Jonathan Frakes.
Yep. He turned 69. Didn't realize he was that old.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Frakes.
really.
Same age.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't look that old though.
And of course, his wife is Jeannie Francis, who played Laura from back in the days of Luke and Laura on General Hospital, I believe.
Oh yeah. Now, another trivial point. There was another soap opera. I think it was Days of Our Lives. John Delancey was on.
Yes.
As a mad scientist who got
Eugene?
lost in time. Yeah.
And Calliope was hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yes.
My grandmother made me watch that.
What was the actress's name that was playing Calliope?
Arlene Sorkin, and she also voiced Harley Quinn in some of the animated shows and movies.
Arlene Sorkin? Was she married to
I don't know if she's married to Adam or Alan or not.
I think it was Alan, and it was the one I was thinking of.
I think Alan's the dad, and I think Adam's the son.
Who?
Okay, yeah, it would have been the right age range for the son then.
Arlene Sorkin.
Yeah. We're talking soap operas. So
I wouldn't have anything.
This was John Delancey and Arlene Sorkin were husband and wife.
John Delancey was in like the $6 Million Man.
Well, he was also in Days of Our Lives, where he played a mad scientist named Eugene, and Arlene Sorkin was his kooky wife.
They were both pretty kooky, believe me.
And they were.
Trust me, I have no idea about soap operas.
They're entertaining. My grandmother made me watch it when I was little, so.
Yeah, I believe it was my first wife that was into that. So I got to see all of that. I also got to see Santa Barbara, which was enormously improved by Lane Davies being in it. Who later on he showed up as a villain in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman,
which I have not.
Oh, you have not?
No.
Well,
I think I know who you're talking about, but I haven't. I've watched bits and pieces of them, but I've never watched the series as a whole.
Well, he played Tempest, the time-traveling bad guy. And,
I'll take your word for it.
A pair of glasses is a really dynamite disguise. Look, I'm Superman. No, I'm Clark Kent. I'm Superman. No, I'm Clark Kent. Lois Lane, you must be the dumbest person.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, but no. Lane Davies was just, his delivery of sarcasm is just one of those things that it developed into an art form. You know?
Oh, John Delancey?
No, Lane Davies.
Yeah.
Oh, Delancey is in
John
that. Delancey's in that league. Yes, indeed.
Delancey, I've yet to see anything that I've seen him in that he's done a bad job with.
Mm-hmm.
He always delivers a strong and good performance in anything that I've seen him in.
Oh, as Q, John Delancey is.
Well, no, in other roles as well. What was it with MacGyver?
I can't think of what he was.
Legend. No, that was with. Yeah. Okay.
I was going to bring up Michael DeBar's character in MacGyver because I always found those episodes entertaining. Because he was. You could tell his character didn't like MacGyver, and MacGyver didn't care for him either. but I think they enjoyed the challenge that each other represented.
Yeah, really. I have to act next to this guy, and I'm going to be nice to him whether or not it kills me.
And I don't think they hated each other in real life, but they, the parts they played.
The characters, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Michael DeBar was famous anyway because he was a rock musician, and his wife Patty DeBar, her autobiography is "I'm with the band," and there's no telling how many people she
was familiar with.
Yeah, got lucky with.
Well, from her point of view, whether it was lucky or not.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see where Stephanie's next book is out?
Oh, Stephanie's next book is on pre-order, as far as I know.
It's coming soon. I think she's about done with it.
Well, she's done with it. It's just the publisher isn't ready to put it out yet. So.
Yeah. I think it's available on Kindle, actually.
Yeah, I think.
Well, the pre-order is, as far as I know. Now I've got all the rest of the series.
That is what is so awesome about talking like this.
I'll be right back, guys.
I just said Stephanie.
And all three of us knew who you were talking about. Exactly. Yeah.
What I was talking about.
And if one of us said, "Hey, Larry's got a new book out," we'd all know who it was.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at my Facebook friends, somebody does a friend request or something, I look and go, "Oh, look, here's a big old list." And look, there's Dan, Stephanie, Vaughn, all these people from LibertyCon and that kind of stuff.
Definitely LibertyCon people, yeah.
And I look at another friend request, and it's all local people. There's no separation other than that. I mean, it's just one or the other.
It's either fandom or neighbors.
Exactly. And I'm like, I think I'd rather go with fandom.
Well, the conversations will be more lively, unless you've got really exceptional neighbors.
Well, Dan, how do you do that in your background on this thing?
Oh, I've got a green screen going on. I actually have a green curtain behind me with a photograph. I've got to have a really fast processor on the computer to be able to make it work. It doesn't work with my normal desktop. It doesn't work very well with my laptop. It gives me really choppy audio and video, but I bought a little teeny tiny workstation that has a ripping fast processor. And it doesn't even have all that much RAM, but the processor is like dynamite. So it will handle the green screen with the photograph behind me. Let me see here. See that? Oh yeah, that's the right button right there. Now, you were here, so you will recognize these rooms behind me now. The dining room and the living room over here with the bar and the bookshelves and the TV stand and everything. It's all just the green screen. You've got to have a particular color of green, and I've actually got some on my chair so that I can get up and it looks like my chair does not exist, and the background just fills in the space where my chair is. And the curtains behind me fill in over the bookcases in my office and everything. But it's all just part of the StreamYard magic of being able to do this stuff and not only be able to talk.
I really appreciate you bringing me in to this thing tonight.
Well, it's no problem whatsoever. I mean, we do this twice a week, and anytime you got time off, you're welcome.
Yeah. I'm usually not available for Thursday night shows, except maybe a comment here or there. But Saturday nights I usually try and be on unless I've got something.
Yeah, Thursday nights we get Stupid O'Clock at 9 o'clock, and it goes on till 11, and then I take over for Last Man Standing, and then Saturday nights Stupid O'Clock starts at 11, and I take over at 1 a.m. And,
well, my schedule is well. When I texted you yesterday to see if y'all were doing video, that's where I was said when I closed the store at midnight.
Yep, you were about to go home and you wanted something to do to get sleepy by. Yeah,
exactly. That I already had 40 hours in. I texted the owner this morning and he said, "Oh no, you're closing tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, you paying the overtime?" And he said, "Well, how many hours do you have in already?" And because he was in Canada until yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I had 40 hours in when I closed last night." He said, "Well, he'd already texted me back before I said that, saying, well, you work up until 9 o'clock. I had to put in another 5 hours." And said, "You can pay the overtime?" And he doesn't want to pay overtime.
Well, of course not.
And
most employers don't want to pay regular time, much less overtime.
Yeah, no shit. And then I got a message back. "You have the weekend off."
Yeah,
he's gonna put
bastard. Yeah.
He's gonna put in the time, so I won't have to work till Monday. So.
Yep, I don't either, but I've got. Oh, that reminds me. Lindsay told me I had to take a vacation day sometime in September, so I can go get my my permanent dentures. The temporaries are proving problematical. I still haven't learned to eat with the damn things. They're so thick, I can't open my mouth wide enough to take a bite of a burrito or something. I mean, I could get used to chewing if I could just get the food in my mouth, you know?
Yeah.
It's so
Chris,
complicated.
I think I know you. Who are you?
I am friends with a lot of people you know. I've been to several Liberty Cons. I'm a bit introverted. I'm a little more extroverted on these little yard stream things that we do. But I know Vaughn. I'm friends with her. I'm friends with Brandy. I'm friends with
We've probably met before, but
yeah. I'm sure I've seen you in the con suite and probably spoke briefly, but usually they're crowded and you've already got people talking to you, and I try not to interject in conversations too much, believe it or not.
We're glad that you can relax here.
Yeah.
No, that's great.
I dearly love any conversation that you're willing to have.
I tell you what, Chris, the first time I took Janice to LibertyCon, she came up to me and said, "This is a great." I don't think you even know this one, Dan. Janice came up to me and said, "You wanted to go to these things you call room parties," and I was serving beer up in the con suite. And this may have been still at the Choo Choo 5 years ago.
Probably.
Yep. Would have been.
And damn, I couldn't even spell my own name. Look at that shit. Anyway.
I wondered about that. I'm like, okay, if that's the way he wants to spell
it.
Anyway.
I don't think anybody's going to call him Susan Sullivan, okay?
Anyway.
Well, say some.
Anyway.
Say.
She comes up and says, you wanted to go see to these room parties, right? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. She said, well, it's time to go. And I look over and there's John Ringo. And I had just had a big, long conversation with John Ringo. I say, hey, Johnny Ringo, looks like somebody just walked over your grave. And he looks at me like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, he hates those jokes.
I said, you want to pull beer for your admiring fans? And he just steps up and goes, hell yeah, I will. And walks up behind the taps and everything and starts pulling beer for everybody. And we go to the room parties. How about that for a great story?
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Getting
John is a really shy person.
Yeah, I know.
And he has to go to a convention and pretend he's not shy.
Yeah,
I know.
And he pulls it off really well. But
I think his wife helps with that.
Yeah, yep. But she doesn't handle heat really well. If it's like the usual Chattanooga weather, she's got to stay in the room with the air conditioning.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another story. Is Lindsay Hollifield introduced me to
Miriam?
Yes, but I'm getting to another point.
Okay.
Introduced me to Tish.
Oh.
At the same time that your wife, Lindsay, introduced me to Mrs. John Ringo. And I was the first person that I introduced to her in that manner.
And Miriam just loved it. That was the first time anybody had ever introduced her as Mrs. John Ringo. And she was just over the moon about it. She just loved it.
I was the first person where she was introduced to as Mrs. John Ringo. How about that one?
That's pretty cool.
Yep. And John's publisher had sent him to an Anachrocon in Atlanta. And he could not figure out why, because he did not write steampunk. And it was a steampunk convention.
Yep.
And he and I wound up sitting at the bar in the con suite for hours, just talking, just carrying on. And it's like he was all of a sudden free to be himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, this guy is just this guy, and I'm just this guy, and we're just two guys sitting here having beer, and it was just absolutely fun. And we pretty much closed the con suite down that night, and it was enormous, but it was one of those things where you could see in somebody's eyes how grateful they were to be able to have a normal conversation with somebody instead of, can I have your autograph? And, you're so fantastic. And it's like,
no, absolutely.
Yeah. There's no fan worship or anything else involved. Yeah. It's just, hey,
that's like me.
You want to try the Fat Tire or the Killian's next? And
that's like me and Les Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Les is a fantastic guy.
Yep.
I love having a beer with Les Johnson, and and the only thing I asked him is like, "How's your solar cell program going?"
Oh, and it's apparently going real well right about now, because it's just about ready to be launched.
Yeah.
God, I hope that succeeds beyond everybody's
wildest
hopes.
Yeah. It would be awesome.
It would be. It would be nothing short of awesome. That would prove an awful lot of concepts right there, and advance a bunch of technology.
LibertyCon, walking down the thing, and I see a guy that I think I know who he is, but I had really no idea. And I hear somebody else say, "Hey, Travis, who are you?" Travis Taylor.
Oh yeah,
Rocket City Rednecks.
Yep.
I'm like, "Oh, hey, Travis, how are you?" Yeah,
some very cool people.
It's awesome.
And that's the thing. Once you're in the family,
look,
it's like, yeah.
I carried beer from Stephanie Osborne's van at my first LibertyCon over to yours thing because you gave her a Tesla pistol.
Oh yeah.
That was my first introduction to Stephanie Osborne.
It was like almost $3,000 worth of sculpture. Then I asked her to pay me
2 cases of Natty
2 cases of beer. Yeah. And she still has it to this day, and it is not falling apart. So I must have done a good job putting that bugger together.
Yep.
And
she gladly paid that price for it.
Oh, yeah. And actually, being Stephanie, if I'd insisted on getting paid in money for the quality of work that I delivered, she would have paid it.
Yeah.
But money is not the thing.
Yeah.
It's the joy of making something that somebody just absolutely, they hold it in their hands for the first time and they go, "This is amazing, thank you."
Yep.
Yeah. And then
I'll tell you a great story with Stephanie Osborne. Is one of the first conventions or LibertyCons that I went to with Janice. We had just gotten married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, she'd been there twice. Mm-hmm. This is the first one. We used it as our honeymoon, and at some point, my wedding ring fell off. It was too big, and we looked all around the hotel, everywhere. Every place we'd gone, and couldn't find it. And we were back in the the big old vendor's room and everything, and stopped back by where Stephanie was sitting, and I had sandals on, and we're sitting there talking to Osborne, and I felt something hit my toe, and I looked down, and it was my wedding ring. Somebody in this 40,000 square foot room had kicked it, and it hit my toe, and I picked it up and said, "Oh my God, there's my wedding ring back." And Stephanie just said, "Well, just meant to be."
Exactly.
It's funny that you mentioned that about John Ringo, Sean, because normally he's got an entourage around him. You can't get to him to talk.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he was just alone in the con suite for a moment, and I got him to pull beer. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same way he was at the Anachrocon. None of his fans were there, except for me. And we just sat down and man to man just kind of just decided, hey, we're going to close this sucker down. So let's tell each other stories about
Well,
stuff.
that's like how you introduced me to Larry Niven at the first LibertyCon I went to.
Oh, yeah.
I had 10 minutes with Larry Niven where you said nobody gets 10 minutes with Larry Niven.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I am special.
Because he's just that popular.
Yeah.
I did.
The trick is getting 10 minutes with Jerry Vernell.
Yeah.
Back when he was still alive.
That's kind of impossible now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Back when he was still alive. Because he was really busy.
The one good thing that I have a memory from Dragon Con, the last one I attended, is I got to go to the Barfly party, and I got to listen to Jerry and see him for his last appearance before he died.
Mm-hmm. That must have been awesome.
And he was just happy to be there. You know, the smile on his face was genuine and real. It was like, these are my people, and I'm happy to be here.
That's exactly the way he was. Now,
I never
if you ever wasted his time, he would not hesitate to let you know you were wasting his time.
Now, the good memory I have of Larry Niven is when I was at Worldcon in Kansas City in 2016. There was, the area where they had these little displays where the cities were competing for the 2020 Worldcon bid. And Larry was just walking around, and I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Niven, can I take your picture?" And he seemed generally pleased because I had more hair back then, and I looked younger back then. And I think he was pleased that somebody actually knew him that looked younger. And so that was a fun experience.
Well, Larry's always happy to meet a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, and Sean can testify to this. Larry is just this down to earth guy that has these way above the earth daydreams that he tends to write down and get paid for.
Yeah.
But
he's quite good at it.
Actually, when I met Larry Niven, he called us crazy because we run the website, and I run the IRC server that he shows up and that kind of stuff.
Sean runs the IRC chat server that we have the monthly Larry Niven chats on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And this was because a good friend of ours who is no longer with us was desperate to keep.
Well, I'll tell the whole story.
Oh, go right ahead.
The IRC server that we were using for the Larry Niven chat all of a sudden disappeared.
Hmm.
Illuminary vanished. And this wonderful friend that I never met called me desperate one Saturday morning before the scheduled chat.
Hmm.
His name was Frank Gasparic.
Hmm.
He called me up, said, "Can you do anything about it?" And I said, "Sure." And so I created an IRC chat server, which has developed and gotten better and better over the years, you know. And so I met Larry Niven at LibertyCon,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and he asked me, said, "Why do you all do this stuff?" And it took me a little while to figure out the question because I only had a couple minutes and I wasn't able to answer it. But I answered it finally on the chat server. So I
Hmm.
can tell you exactly why I run the chat server and Mark Firestone runs the website because Frank Gasparic asked us to.
I bet that just made Larry tear up a bit.
Well, when I answered that on the IRC server, I couldn't see him,
Hmm.
but that's why I maintain the IRC server is
Yeah,
because Frank Gasparic asked me to.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we lost Frank and we lost his wife not too long after the chat server became live. But he did get to enjoy it for quite a while. And
No, I love talking to him and Peggy. I just wish I had gone out and met him in person.
Yep. He was bound and determined that Fly-by-Wire was going to get published, even though the series creators, the people that own the shared universe, were not interested in getting it published. And I'm going, Frank, let it go, let it go. I don't own these other characters. I just own the background characters and the actual action. Just let it go. It's all right. And he goes, no, no, no. And actually, Frank wound up being a speaking character in 2 different chapters in the story.
Frank shows up in every story.
He does. He showed up in Niven and Purnell collaborations at least 3 times,
Oh yeah,
and then he shows up in my stuff, and meow.
That is a good looking cat.
I am not a cat person.
You will be.
Yep.
It's my cat though.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you're her human.
Yep.
Now I'll agree with that. I mean, I'm a dog person. I have a Labrador Retriever here in the house,
Hmm.
but that's Janice's dog. It's not
Yep.
my dog.
Was supposed to be yours, but no, things didn't work out that way.
Yep.
Exactly. And Janice hates it that it's my cat and not hers. So
Yeah. Well,
Well,
turnabout's fair play.
yep. Need to get 5 or 6 more, and then she can have her
oh,
pick.
fuck that.
He's got his hands full.
I'll
with
have the
treats. He
one
don't need
cat
any
that does all the mousing. She wears out the mouse, so the mice. So there you go.
Cool.
You catch her at the computer going, "What you're running Linux? What a wimp!"
I am running Linux.
I know. That's why I made the joke.
I figured as much.
Oh, oh heavens! No, we have been privileged to meet several important and influential writers and artists and publishers and editors and whatnot over the years, just by virtue of showing up and doing what we're doing right now, having conversations with folks, and not caring what background they came from or what the circumstances of them being at the place we were in happened to be, and just being unafraid to talk one-on-one, or in this case, one-on-three, to whoever and whatever.
Well, all I can say is I'm talking to an author, Chris. I'm assuming, is this Weisskopf I'm talking to?
No, Walker.
Huh?
Chris Walker.
I'm just a bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy trying to make his way in this world.
He's related to the family that gave birth to the Phantom. He's a distant cousin, all right?
Cool.
He doesn't have the purple suit yet, but if there's an emergency, he knows where it is. Ain't my grasp of trivia really weird?
Well, we make a good team, Dan, because I know some weird stuff too.
Hey, I only hang out with the best. And Joe Dog.
Yeah, well.
He'll never watch this. He won't say that. He won't see it. He never watches my show.
Joe Dog is a category all to himself.
Usually a category 5.
And there's sometimes I shake my head at some of the stuff he does.
He is chaos magic embodied, personified.
Do you realize how much effort goes into trying to
contain him?
Yeah, and make his con workable.
Well, I know his reach often outstretches his grasp, but somehow he attracts a crew that goes, okay, let's make it so. Otherwise, we'll never hear the end of it.
Well,
so Thursday night?
Yes.
Thursday night, Stupid O'Clock starts at 9 o'clock, and Last Man Standing starts at 11 o'clock.
You gonna invite me for Stupid O'Clock?
We can.
Yep, just send them a message, let them know you're available.
Yeah.
I'll most likely be at the liquor store. I'll be in and out, of course.
Yeah,
that's fine too.
We pass in and out all the time. So.
You can charge your phone in between visits.
But
you can charge your phone in between visits.
Oh, he's got a laptop
if I'm on there, you'll hear bong. Give me a pack of such and such.
Okay.
Let me have a 18 of natural light, please, and keep the change.
Yeah.
I get keep the change a lot. It's really surprising.
Yeah, well, I always use my card, so there ain't no change. So that
I don't carry cash. Somebody tried to give me a tip day before yesterday. I'm like, I don't care, $1 tip. And I'm like, here, take that back. I don't carry any money.
Makes it harder to get robbed if you don't have any cash.
Well, the drawer has a lot of cash. I keep a razor knife in my back pocket all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes sense. But
it didn't help out the bad Leroy Brown that much, but
well, let me in Thursday. I'm probably be at the liquor store.
Right. Like I said, Stupid O'Clock starts at 9. Last Man Standing starts at 11. Saturday nights, Stupid O'Clock starts at 11, and Last Man Standing starts at 1 a.m. Sunday morning.
Yep. We'll be happy to have you.
Lord, yeah.
Well, like I said, Thursday, just zap me the link. I'm at the liquor store till 11. So I can bullshit a little bit. But like I said, I'll be in and out depending on the customer.
Yeah, really. You're going to have to sign out to use the cash register.
I think
No. I'll have the laptop there,
Okay.
which is what I'm doing there. I just will be away from the laptop, and you'll hear me.
Yeah. Well, you can always stop your camera and the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thursday is the slightly more serious show where you usually can get the authors and
Well,
English guests on.
then don't do me on Thursday. It's fine.
Oh, I was just telling you. I mean, it was fun having JD on tonight.
Oh, Lord, yeah. And
it was entertaining.
And Jody McVeigh, when he shows up, that's always a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, well, seriously, we know so many people now.
Yeah. We're more likely to get somebody like Stephanie on a Thursday night at a decent hour than Saturday night and that's all I was getting at.
At an indecent hour, yes, indeed.
Yeah, and like I said, you're welcome anytime that you're available and wanting to be on here. Because
oh Lord, yeah,
because stories to tell need to be told. Yeah, stories to tell need to be told. So we can remember them and others can learn of them.
Really, this is history, and it does not need to be forgotten.
Exactly.
All right, fine. I'll. Like I said, I'll most likely be at the liquor store Thursday, but I'll have the laptop with me. So
cool.
Zap me up, and I'll be in. Other than, like I said, give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Hey, all we got to do is wait till Joe Dog creates the link for the rooms.
Yep.
And then pop on the messenger and go, hey, here you go.
Yep.
Well, do that.
Just like Dan.
It's a whole lot better than me just sitting there staring off into space or, watching something off Tubi TV.
Yeah.
Which I've already gone through all of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. You definitely may learn something and usually entertained.
Well, yeah.
Oh, did you see my post earlier today on Facebook? I got 1,800 words on the new Tom Darby book today.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I have not turned out that kind of wordage in months because I've been too depressed. And today I was not depressed, so I dived in and went to town.
You know what's going to make you least depressed? Going back to LibertyCon and seeing all your friends.
Yep.
Well, that'll help a lot. That'll help a lot.
I will be there next year.
God
willing.
The other thing is that the normal everyday stresses that do not apply to me, but do apply to the people that I love, should knock it the fuck off and leave us alone.
Yeah.
And I will be able to get back to being creative post haste.
Yeah.
But as long as the people that I care about are being knocked around.
With bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm going to be more worried about what they're going through than what I can sit down and type.
Yep. As I like to say, life's too lately has been too much like the old Tom Petty album title. Let me up. I've had enough.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I can relate.
Well, today was definitely. I don't have to feel like a refugee.
That is definitely a good thing.
I got shit done. And every time I went back in the living room to go to the beer fridge and get another beer, my wife's going, "How's it going?" I go, "Oh, really good, really good. I got over 1,000 words." She goes, "Don't let me hold you up." And I'm going, "Oh, honey, I love to hear those words." Yeah.
It's great having a supportive wife or significant other.
Yep. Definitely. For somebody who's
And
a
Dan will
creative
totally
type,
understand this. I love your wife.
I know you do. I know you
She's
do.
awesome.
And I know Janice does as well. And, so does everybody who ever meets her. I mean,
Absolutely.
if I were the least bit insecure, I'd suspect everybody of trying to take her away from me because I know how amazing she is.
Yeah.
But
She is. Absolutely.
thankfully, I'm not insecure, and I go, "Oh, honey, if you want to go off and party with these folks, you just do that, and I'll be right over here scribbling in my notebook." And
Well,
Hey,
it's obvious that she adores you. I mean, I was with Joe. I think it was at the last Anachrocon, and I did not talk, but I listened when he went up to you and Lindsay, and I'm like, "Oh, she's cool as hell," and I'm like, "Dan's pretty damn cool too."
well, thank you. I'm not
no,
used to.
Janice, last night she went with a couple of her friends to up to Caesars in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yeah, because they were doing some kind of 5K thing that got held off last year because of COVID, and they did it this morning. And I didn't see Janice for 2 days.
And now you can't see her because she's passed out, as tired as hell from running a 5K.
She's exhausted. She's fucking exhausted up there yelling at me, going, "You're too loud down there." And I'm like, I'm talking to friends that I only see I haven't seen in 2 fucking years.
Janice, put on your headphones. Don't plug them into
She's got
anything.
all
Just
her
put them
fans
on.
on. She can't hear shit.
Oh, but I can hear her saying shit.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah. You're in deep shit now, boy.
Yep.
Well,
You better be prepared to pucker up.
let's just say that I'm totally in love with her, and that makes all the difference.
Nothing quite like that feeling.
Just turn around and look her straight in the eye and says, "Dan says he loves you." If that don't throw her for a curveball, nothing will.
Oh, she's trying to get the dog up in the bed.
And you can tell her I said I hope she recovers soon from her 5K.
She walked it, didn't run it.
Hey, it's still a 5K.
Yeah, exactly.
It don't matter if you walked it, ran it, or drived it. It's still a 5K.
Yes, it is. And nothing will change that fact.
I don't think I could do one in a golf cart,
Yeah.
I asked her if she ran it, and she's like, "Oh, fuck no, I walked it." And they were throwing sparkles at her or something. I don't
Don't applaud, just throw money.
Apparently, Chris knows what I'm talking about.
I could just picture it like a queen or a princess celebration, where
she showed up and showed me her boobies and was like all blue and green and Fred said, "Well, I'll show you mine." I'm like, no. I'm locked into this one right here. I'm not going to look at you.
Oh man.
We do come up with some of the weirdest things to say, don't we?
That's what happens when you're one of the last men standing.
Yep. Well, guys, it's like 10 minutes to 4.
Yeah, I'm about to get off of here. I just, like I said, I was enjoying the conversation. Sean, it's a pleasure getting to talk to you and hear some of your stories. Dan, as always, it's a pleasure listening to you and some of your tales.
I just talk too much.
Yeah. I just try and get a word in every once in a while, and sometimes I actually succeed.
Well, did you just say that you enjoyed me telling my tales?
Yeah. Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I know these people, so it actually resonates with me because you're not dealing with a mundane that doesn't know who the hell John Ringo and Larry Niven and Jerry Porbell and all these guys are.
We're con family, so we get the references.
Yep. So,
well, guys, I'm gonna throw a commercial up, and then I'm gonna go to the end credits here. Thank you.
When LibertyCon actually happens next year, which it's going to happen, Janice and I are both on staff this year, so you'll get to meet Janice. Okay. Dan already knows Janice.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Our memberships have rolled over. I don't know whether or not Lindsay will be able to attend because her dog is getting elderly and we can't put him in a kennel for a weekend because it's one of those, will we come back and the dog's still alive?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, because she's going to want to stay with him. So I might be flying solo at next LibertyCon. So
I understand completely.
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
Janice and I will both be there.
Yeah. No,
we're both on staff, obviously. So
yeah, I hate the fact that I'm going to be flying solo at Hallowcon, but you know, it's just one of those things, and there's no way knowing when the dog will finally cross that rainbow bridge. Yeah, but we got to act accordingly here.
Yeah.
And it's her dog. She gonna stay with it. So
they need a familiar face to be there with him at the end.
Oh Lord, yeah. Oh Lord, yeah. I'm gonna dread the day when it happens, but you know, life has a way of writing the end when it picks its own time.
Yeah.
So,
and we can't always choose those times.
We can never choose.
I can tell you about the Max. He's on the mantle, but I really don't want to go there because I'll cry.
So would I.
Yeah, no point in bringing on any sadness. Let's end it on a happy note and a hopeful note.
We understand, and you know, everything is really all right because matter does not get destroyed. It just gets changed into energy, and energy gets passed on forever and ever and ever from one form to another. And on that note, gentlemen, I love you both, and we're going to go to a commercial here if I could figure out how to get to the bloody damn thingy. And this is for the Rising Tide Broadcast Network and everybody that's connected with it. And good night, folks. This is probably going to be our sign off. And thank you very much.
I enjoyed
it. On your own. Good night.
Until next time, guys.
We'll see you then. Good night, Sean.
Later, man.
Well, we are